Welcome back to the Monkey and the Monster Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recap. Today we're going to be recapping, I guess would be the correct word, because this is a recap video, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 Episode 2 recap.
Just to give a quick warning, we do have spoilers. So
Yes.
This is your cue if you don't want to know what happened on this episode.
Yeah, because it'll be spoiled like rotten eggs.
Yes, we are.
Or milk.
We're diving into this
Or
heavy
anything
this
else
week.
that spoils.
Okay.
That's right.
So to start this off,
Spoiler free. It's spoiler full.
So
Sorry.
what do you like about this episode, or did you even like it?
Yeah, I love this episode. I thought it was much better than last week. I didn't think it was possible to top last week's episode, but I think this episode might have topped it for me. I gotta say, it was very great, very emotional, very action-packed. I definitely enjoyed this episode a lot.
I'll agree.
Did you enjoy it?
I totally agree. I was literally at the edge of my seat. I was sitting back. I was like grasping. It had me this entire episode. Loved this episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode. With this episode, we got the return of Ward, May, and Fitzsimmons reunited. We got Simmons back. She is safe and sound back with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I was very, very happy about. That was very, very intense moment that went on there. But we'll get into that a little bit later. What'd you think about Ward coming back? That was pretty...
Wow. I would say now he is more ruthless than I think we've ever really seen him. Life, basically, I don't know if people's lives matter to him in this anymore. I think it's just he has a plan, he's sticking to it, and he doesn't care who gets in his way. He's going to do what he has to do.
Yeah, Ward definitely seemed much more ruthless. He came back tenfold. You know how the old saying goes, you cut off one head of Hydra, two grow back in its place. And that was definitely apparent in this episode. As you can see, Ward was trying to recruit Baron von Strucker's son, which I didn't even know existed until this episode.
I didn't even
Apparently
know
he has illegitimate children just wandering around in the Marvel Universe.
Spoiled illegitimate children who have boats.
Yeah. On his own private yacht. What a jerk.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, but that was a good point there of that show. Episode, I meant to say, rather.
How about Agent May? We actually got to see a little bit about where she's been.
Yeah, chilling in Sun City, Arizona with her dad there.
Yeah. Playing golf. Cooking, very domesticated, which never seen this side of Agent May, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting to see May trying to live a normal life as opposed to being an agent, which we got into that a little bit more with her relationship with her dad, as she's trying to become domesticated as opposed to being a super spy, top secret agent. She's trying to live a normal life, which you kind of get into that with her father trying to tell her that she's not normal and she can't live a normal life like that. It was very interesting, that dynamic with her father there.
Yeah. How about the visitor? Let's talk about her visitor.
Yeah, supposedly nobody can find her, but apparently it was a lot easier than we all thought. Hunter.
Hunter found her quite easily, just up and left, and there he was.
Yeah, it made it seem very easy to just track her down by phone records and whatnot. But yeah, he found her and invited her to help him find Ward. So that should be very interesting, seeing where that will lead to later in the season. Especially with Ward recruiting, making Hydra more powerful and ruthless than ever. Well, he's definitely ambitious in trying to make it more ruthless and more powerful than ever. But definitely. He has a little bit more of a different vision for Hydra.
How about what I really liked about the scenes with May was her dad told her that no matter, she only focused on when she was ice skating as a kid, that she only focused on when she fell. What he focused on is that every time she fell, she got up more willing to not fall down the next time. Really, it was like a little insight into her character. Like, even though she's been knocked down many times, Agent May seems to come back and twice as strong as the last time. So I'm really looking forward to see what she has and what she's gonna do when her and Hunter go after Ward. And I think that this time it's a little different because it's not like she has the whole Shield team. It just seems like it's gonna be the two of them right now.
It was also a little bit of insight into how bad she was at ice skating. That's what I took away from that. Is May was horrible at ice skating, so she decided to take up martial arts. That's what she said in the episode. She apparently sucked at ice skating, and it hurt every time she hit the ice. In martial arts, you get to hit the mat instead. So that's what I took away from that.
Yeah. So how about Fitzsimmons?
Yeah.
That whole scene I was captivated. I was definitely getting a little bit emotional in that whole scene. I mean, let's start off with Fitz. You know, he was able to see that there was traces of sand in the monolith, so he kind of figured out that it wasn't just like some type of what was he thinking? It was an ancient kind of sand that it could have been found on Earth, but it was an ancient sand, so nothing that you'd find anytime now. What was interesting is that in the previous season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we seen the Asgardian Professor Randolph, and
another unexpected return to the episode.
We got to see Coulson blackmail Professor Randolph into helping them, only for us to see. Was he really blackmailed? I mean, Professor Randolph just lifted up that cage door and set it aside, and he was.
Well, he is Asgardians, so let's not forget about that. But he wasn't sure what Coulson can do with this new robot hand that he had in this episode, or since the last time we seen Professor Randolph. But yeah, it was interesting to see Fitz discover that it wasn't something else. It was actually like a portal or a way to travel from you know.
Something came out of the monolith which led him to believe that it was a portal or stuff can be brought. Even though Simmons was absorbed into it, she had a hope of being taken out of it. A cool thing that I found in this particular scene was that Coulson and Fitz and Mac and a couple of the other team, they decided to go with Professor Randolph to London, I believe, and there they went to a castle and they seen the inscription where Fitz had that little piece of paper that in Hebrew it said death. We see the inscription on one of the walls, I believe, of the castle that actually is in full translation that says death by punishment. Kind of leading into that it was somewhat like of a punishment for people to go into a monolith, or if they'd done something wrong, they'd be absorbed into it.
And they were actually able to find like a secret room that was there that had that device that figured out was for the monolith there, because that monolith has been there for ancient times, since ancient times rather. And it was Professor Randolph that actually led them there, because he had seen it many different centuries ago that was a place that they would experiment in.
Yeah. And jumping time portals is something he's very familiar with, trying to get away and not get caught by the Asgardians, because he is basically a runaway.
Pretty much.
A really, really smart runaway.
But it was in that room they figured out how that room was actually there so they could learn to control the monolith and activate it rather, to travel into different dimensions or different galaxies, universes.
Basically, it's a time portal.
Time portal.
Basically, from what I understood was that with the machine or whatever they had going on, once they activated it, it would send sound waves or pulses to the monolith, and then it would like form or come alive and somewhat unlock or activate, so that somebody could be pushed into it or possibly brought out. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they would do with it, but
unfortunately it broke when they were figuring all that out. So what happened is Daisy.
Daisy.
Yes, I got it right this time. Daisy, not Sky anymore. But Fitz figured out that Daisy was actually able to activate the portal by herself with her powers, her quake powers.
She quaked.
Pretty much.
She was able to quake.
So then they decided to go with a plan to kind of put a camera in there to figure out what's on the other side of that portal. So when Daisy activates it, I really enjoy, or I really like the fact that Fitz kind of tricked everybody, like, yeah, we're going to put this camera in there. So as soon as it was open, Fitz hooks himself and then he jumps in by himself. That just showed his desperation that he had for Gemma. He wasn't giving up, and it didn't matter if he was going to have to jump in there himself to do it, which turned out to be a much better idea.
Yeah.
And I liked the way it was just very dramatic and intense on how he was able to find her, and it just builds up to them, going hand by hand in hand, and he's reaching for her, and Daisy can only keep her powers going for so long, because at the same time, while she's holding the portal, it's starting to really inflict much damage onto Quake and causing her to bleed, which we've seen it was causing that before with the device that was in there, and it was that's how he kind of figured out that she would be able to.
She heard the pulsing sound. Nobody else heard it, but she heard it, so it's really intense. What I kind of found interesting was that initially when they have first learned to activate the monolith inside that secret room, they sent a flare into the monolith to see what would happen, and that flare is actually what Simmons seen, and she tried to make her way towards the flare, and luckily for her, Fitz jumped in, and they kind of met up at that point, trying to grab each other's hands so he could pull her back, because at that point the rope was already it had reached the end of its rope. Mac was starting to pull him back in, and Daisy was dying.
She was about to pass out at the very last moment. Just when you think he was about to grab her, the monolith breaks and Daisy, kind of passes out. But you don't see, you kind of get a look down into like the well area where they have the monolith, and you just see it's all crumbled and you don't know what to expect. And you're wondering, I thought maybe Fitz got stuck on the other side with Gemma. I was kind of happy, at least, at least she's there with Fitz and she's not alone anymore. It actually turned out, you see Fitz just laying there, he pops up, and I was like, oh man, my heart was reaching. I was like, he lost her again, but right at the last second she pops out, he pulls her out, and they're back together. You kind of, a little bit of a tear just rolled down my, just one though, one tear just right here.
Yeah, exactly. What I liked about, there was a little part after that where it shows Simmons laying down in the bed, and then Fitz is on the chair next to her, and she gets off and she goes and sits and cuddles up next to him. I thought that was a really tender moment, and I really, really connected with that
part. After she woke up with a shard.
Yeah, what was that?
Some type of shank ready to stab somebody. And she
must have seen somebody there. I mean,
something.
She was defending herself.
Somebody or something.
Well, yeah, we'll recall last episode she was cut up. She was running, kind of hiding from something. So we don't know exactly what she's seen in there. So
hopefully they don't just forget about that planet, and they just keep moving on with the episode. Hopefully they'll emphasize on that a little bit more, and we can explore that and see exactly what that was, or what planet that was, or galaxy, or whatever. Where that portal led to.
Yeah, so did you have a favorite moment this episode?
My favorite moment this episode, would have to be. I'm kind of torn between two. The first I'd say was definitely Fitzsimmons reunited. The other was Ward kicking ass on the boat.
Yes.
That was pretty awesome. The way he just came in and just beat the hell out of everybody. I don't know how to describe it. He just did it.
Nothing else to say about that part.
How about you? Any favorite episode or favorite moments in the episode?
Yeah, actually, I think I just said it right now. That moment towards the end where Simmons and Fitz shared like a little small connection. It was very quiet, kind of demure, but I really thought it was really tender. There was something that showed that, you know, even though they get separated, they're still clinging to each other's love, clinging to each other's, I don't know, humanity in a sense. They're just, even though a lot of them go through these crazy things, and Simmons was God knows where, she still is human. She still has that vulnerability about her that she wants to go and she wants to be close to somebody like Fitz, and I really like that end scene with them, and that was probably my favorite.
All right. Well, what are you looking forward to next episode? We've got a little bit of a preview at the end, as we usually do at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What'd you think about that preview?
I'm a little concerned about what's going on with Lincoln. Like, is he considered bad because it shows Daisy Daisy, she's trying to like tell him he's still good and there's something still okay about him. But yet there's different people who are like going after him. It was the name Rosalind or something?
Right, yeah,
she was going after him, and then you see Coulson and you see all these different sides, and he's doing whatever the heck I don't know, what is it, electricity, or I don't know.
He has like electric powers.
Whatever he knows how to do. It seemed like he was fighting, and I don't know.
We don't know who he was fighting or what he was fighting. That's going to be interesting. It did mention something about betrayal too, so a lot of anticipation for the next episode. All right. Any last words?
No, I think covered everything.
Covered most of it. If we forgot anything, leave us some comments in the comment section. If you have any feedback, any questions, or
just want to say hey.
Make sure you comment and like and subscribe and let your friends know.
Until next time.